Friday we're back out. It says it's 6 degrees, but my legs are saying it's a bit less than that. Got my jeans on today because it's not supposed to rain. Uh-oh. Right, so 10,000 miles. Have I enjoyed them? God, I'm groggy this morning, I don't know why. Yes, brilliant bike. If you're in the town, especially places you don't know where you've got to do sort of a bit of last minute lane jumping and things like that, and this bike is absolutely superb. It's so manoeuvrable. You haven't got to worry about gears and ham-fisted pullaways and things like that. It is absolutely brilliant. It's lovely and smooth as well. I'm trying a different modes, riding modes setup today. See if that makes any difference. I'm in the wrong lane already. I should know this. I live here. So yeah, it has been an absolute delight. About 20 years ago I went to when Motorcycle Live or MCN used to do the autumn and spring spectaculars at Skegness. There'd always be a day when they'd have like trade shows, and occasionally there was a dealer there, and there was a Honda dealer there. I had my Sprint ST 955, fantastic bike, loved that. Still get goosebumps when I see cars the same colour. It just reminds us of that first thing when I was about to get the bike, and just full of excitement. Anyways, oh, they're making a mess of parking that. Right, distracting us. Yeah, so there was a Honda dealer there, and there was a Super Blackbird, and that was always the bike that kind of, that's what I'm aspiring to. And I sat on it, and it just fit us with the Triumph. Ace bike, and I had it for 46,000 miles, so it must have been pretty good. And your knees were touching the fairing a little bit. Sat on the Blackbird, and it just fit. Everything was just right. So many years pass. My riding slows down a bit, as in, I mean, my mileage slows down a bit, from about 10,000 a year to pretty much 1,000, where you think, do I need a bike? I don't use it. But because I'd had it for so long, it was only costing like 80 quid a year to insure it fully comp with protected no claims. It seemed daft to get rid of it, because it wasn't much really, it wasn't much that it was costing us. So I kept it, and then eventually I thought, it's 12 years old, I thought it's going to start costing us money now. Things will start going wrong with it. So I was looking around, I couldn't find anything better up to that point, and then the big 1200 came out, well, the Gen 2 Explorer. I didn't even know there was a Gen 1, to be fair. And then I watched that fellow that talks did Posh, Tally-ho, what's his name, Baron von Grumble, I think, and he'd done a review on it with the new suspension, and absolutely loved it. So, excuse me, God dear, it's cold weather, it's making my nose run. So yeah, he done that. Kept looking at the Triumph dealer because it was close, and I'd quite low with the Triumphs. And then I went to have a look at 1050, a Tiger 1050 in white with all the luggage on it, and it looked nice as you like. And then I kind of walked away with a £14,000 brand new bike, so I fucked up there. Never mind. Honda brought this out, didn't realise until it was pretty much at the NEC, Eventually got a test ride on one in February. Loved it. Oh my god, I was so pleased with it. Put my money down there and then wait 4 months for it to arrive. Being scared to ride the big Tiger in case I dropped it or something and killed the trading value, which was shit. But never mind. Yeah, the first year, 8,000 miles. In 3,000 miles, to be fair, it was just sunshine. I don't think I had to wash the thing. Absolutely superb. And then it switched to 5,000 miles. Oh, nothing but rain. So it's been tested in the wet, big style, and I can say that compared to the Tiger, the weather protection is absolutely impeccable. Screen's better, doesn't scratch quite as easy, although time will tell on that, but the Tiger after the first few washes it was crazed and I was so careful about washing the screen. So yeah, your feet, they stay nice and protected. You don't get like you used to get on the Tiger. You used to get bottom of your back, top of your arse. You always got a really cold draft. You kind of got used to it, but this bike doesn't do that so much. Sprint ST didn't do it at all. But it was weird, that bike, because the wind, the screen, as big as it was just created a lot of very turbulent air. But anyways, back to the NT. The DCT didn't take long at all to get used to. Like I said in the previous video, I've never ever had it in S3. Can't see the point. Only because if you'd ride in that sporty, you just stick it into manual and use the flappy paddles. Then you know what it's doing rather than it second guessing you and you second guessing it. Oh, are people not waving today? So yeah, the DCT didn't take long at all. Occasionally I still stab for the clutch pedal, not the clutch pedal. Not the car, Jesus Christ. Occasionally stab for the gear pedal, lever. Oh my word. It's early-ish. Yeah, absolutely love this bike. Mirrors are good. Still prefer them if they weren't on the stalks, because when I've got to reverse it, you kind of only see where your handlebars are pointing. So it's not that good. But they're all like that nowadays, aren't they, really? A lot of people didn't like, you can kind of make out their little wing things. Them things there. Well, people don't like the reflection of the indicators on them. I think it's ace. Lets you know you've left your indicator on, or if you're not looking at your screen, seeing the little green blinker. And I don't mind it at all, but a lot of people bring it up as a major issue. Never had a pillion on it yet, but that's partly because the throttle was so jerky and on-y-offy compared to the Triumph. So I've been a bit reluctant, and it's always been alright for me, but I think when you got a pillion on, could be a certain amount of head crashing. Oh, another hedgehog. I hate seeing hedgehogs squashed. Sleep for 6 months a year, then come out and get run over. Poor little things. Rescued one the other day. You can't see them on the road, especially if it's damp. You just feel a thud. Picked it up, Jesus Christ, spiky little thing. Didn't think they were that sharp. But back to the bike. So Where was I at? What have I talked about? PCT like that. Sport 2 for normal riding. Sport 1 for towns. Hypermiling like I do yesterday, but you to drive. You're not really requiring any real acceleration. If it is in drive and you do happen to belt it away from the lights, it will hold the revs, you know, so it's not like it'll chug. It will actually take you right to the red limit if you pin it, but as soon as you stop pinning it, it will be very eager to go straight up a box into top gear. So for proper drivey roads, oh that's bad, isn't it, or ridey roads, then you're kind of looking at the paddles basically. And very, very good. Just got to remember, you thumb it down and finger it up. You don't want to be changing to the wrong gear when you're having a bit of fun. If you're really high in the revs, it won't let you change down. We'll obviously know that if you do that, the revs will be coming, they'll be too high. So it'll sort of protect itself there. Likewise, if you're dawdling along at 3 miles an hour and you put it to second, it just won't do anything, it'll stay at first. So it's good that way. And then with the paddles as well, if you're slowing down at a roundabout, lots of things are distracting you. Where am I going, what's this car doing, which lane, and all the rest of it, and your brain just stops pushing the buttons. It will drop it down the box as well, so you could kind of use it wrongly and it'll look after you. So you could use the paddles literally just for changing up and down on the twisters and then leave it in manual. Get into a town and just sort of forget. The only thing is it'll down change sort of later on, or later than you probably would, but it'll still do it. And so far it's not stalled. It's been very good for low speed stuff, and it does a bit of an auto blip, which is quite nice when it's changing down. Also, if you're braking firmly, it'll take the rate of deceleration into account. So if you're hammering on the brakes from a 60 to a 30, you might find that by the time you get to the 30, it's actually shoved you down into second gear, rather than if you'd have braked gently and kept you into third. So obviously it's expecting that rate to continue, and it's thinking that you're driving rather enthusiastically. I keep saying driving. So I would imagine that there's a huge amount of thought gone into this development. Yeah, because it is, try to second guess what you're doing and what you're seeing, and everybody does things different. So it's a massively impressive bit of kit. I absolutely love it. Plus it's, if you listen to it when it pulls away as well, it's just so smooth. Normally on a bike or a car you'll set the gas, and as you set off, then revs will sort of hold, then they'll dip a little bit, then it'll pick up as the clutch is fully engaged. With this, nothing like that. It's literally wherever revs it starts at, they only go up unless you shut the throttle. There's no blipping or dipping in the revs. The power is fabulous. It makes you look rather competent with a clutch, which is always nice. Look how green things are now. Wow. It's absolutely incredible. Bit of blue sky helps mind. I think it also knows that third gear is like the prime overtaking one, so you'll find that in certain road situations, donk, that it'll hold third gear longer than you expect. I mean, third gear is pretty good. You don't need any more power. If you do, you've probably judged something a little bit too wrong. And I used to like the sound of the Triumph. I used to think that sounded really nice. But now, oh, I just love the way this thing sounds. It's just absolutely awesome. It's not too loud. I don't like loud bikes. I just make it look like make it sound like you're speeding everywhere. So many bikes are out today. Guessing Sunday will be busy, so the police will be thinking we should get the camera vans out and get the air ambulance on standby. Pretty sure that Easter weekend was nice, and I was working it as usual. And normally when you have that first Easter weekend, that's like the start of the bike season, and you get nice weather, all the rusty people come out, and then there's just carnage. So this year I didn't hear any of that. It was quite refreshing. Right, what do we not like about the bike? Occasionally, which is what I'm trying to test today to see if my riding modes alter that, is if you are, I don't know, you're in, say, whatever speed limit you're doing, and it's a bit of a downhill, for example, so you just want to ease off the throttle a bit, so you maintain the speed, or even easing off the throttle gives it a tiny bit of engine braking. It can be a bit kind of, it's a bit like you shut the throttle a bit too much and then you open it again thinking, ah, that's too much, and then it seems to shut a second time, so you get this kind of lumpiness. I've tried all kinds. I've tried, because initially I thought it was hitting a bump or something, and the wrist moving slightly, so it's giving you minor inputs to the throttle. I tried having my hand on the bar end and sort of squeezing that so the throttle was staying steady. Didn't seem to do anything. Sometimes it does it, other times it doesn't. And I thought, well, is it the temperature? Does it do it when it's... Does it do it when it's... that was a silly place to overtake. Does it do it when it's... when the engine's cold? Not really, because the engine warms up very, very fast. You can, like, a couple hundred metres down the road and it's just the coolant's optimum. Obviously the engine won't be, but it does warm up fast. Then I thought, is it the air temperature? This bit used to have a massive bounce in it. Has it still got one? Maybe too slow to find out. Yeah, it's still got it. Oof, Gordon Benneter. I thought it was further back than that. Doink. Bunny hop. That's where the Triumph suspension kind of tops this one, because it doesn't let you bounce down and back up. You tend to go down and it stays. Right, yeah, so the throttle. It's, I don't know. It doesn't always do it. And then sometimes it will do it. So I'm trying. I've already done it last night as well, after 10,000 miles. I thought I'll have another fiddle with the modes. I'll try it with maximum engine braking intervention, because apparently the little blue lines on the dials that tell you about your power and all the rest of it, you can go to, it says 1 of 3. It's a bit weird because you can have engine braking at 3 blue block things, in the circles, which is most intervention. So by that I'm thinking that the engine's limiting the engine braking slightly, what the computer is. And then you've got the power, which is 1 to 3, but it doesn't let you go to like 0. So you think 1, if it's saying how much intervention there is, and there still is some, you think, well, could you not go to 0? No intervention, it's just at full power. It's not the most clear. Oh, it's alright. So that's a bit strange. A few people have said to turn the traction control off and it completely transforms the engine again. But I'm not going to lie, that traction control is a far better rider than I am, so I ain't turning it down. I never used to have it, of course, in all my other bikes, but, well, apart from the Triumph. And that was in Trisk, that was. It killed the power when you went over a cat's eye or taking something. It swam it back on again. So it was trying to keep you safe, because obviously that cat's eye, it thinks is the back wheel spinning up, which momentarily will have been. So there, if we brake firmly there, it puts it down in a second, but if we'd have braked gently, it would have kept it in third. So I total through the village, because these people must absolutely despise sunny days. All the bikes coming through, especially the noisy can ones. What else with the bike? The under-seat storage, that's quite good. I've put on a Heel-Tech Thunderbox, I think that's what it's called. And it's basically a little box of trickery, and it when you turn the engine on, you basically plug it into the battery, and then you attach your accessories to that, and there's something inside it that obviously when the bike runs, the input into the battery is higher, so it senses the higher voltage. It then turns on, and when you knock the engine off, it turns off. I think there's a 20-second delay or something like that when you first start it. Obviously the bike's using a lot of battery power, so it doesn't start up immediately, so it takes 20 seconds. But it means no chopping into wires, no affecting CAN bus, that sort of thing, potentially, where you try to find a permanent live. You don't need to start putting fuse boxes and shit in. It's a brilliant thing. I think I've got the smaller one, so I'm not driving the BMW with every possible accessory going, so I've got the smaller one. Powers the jacket and socks if I've got one, and sat nav, and charges my little music box thing, which I haven't got on today, because if I put this on YouTube and they hear music, they might have a little music fit. Bastards. But one thing I have noticed about this bike, I don't know why, but compared to the Triumph, when I first got it, I was riding faster, as in the speeds. Oh yeah, what else? Yeah, so I was riding faster for, I'm guessing, the same sensation, so whether that was vibrations, wind, noise, don't know. But when I got the Sprint ST compared to the SV650, that was pretty noticeable that I was like 15 mile an hour faster. You'd think you'd be doing 70 on the motorway and you'd be doing 85. Same on the 60s. And it was a much smoother bike. Poor little bunny rabbit squished. So we'll stop for a coffee at, I can't remember the name of the place. It's only been around a couple of years. Here we are. Where we want to park? Oh, should we go next to the go next to that, I think. So yeah, it was quite nice. Oh. Neutral. Oh. Right, that is food done. At the Nook, it's quite busy. Which way are you heading? It's a weird surface this to ride on. It was a bit slurpy. Going in the Volvo, where are you going, lad? I think they're lost. I hope I'm not following them. Yeah, I've just been talking to a fellow that's on some ride for people that have been in, where have they been? Northern Ireland. One of the comrades has died, and they're out on a ride. Nice car that, they're just shame they can't drive it. Bloody hell, come on us. Dear me. I'm very patient, but some people... Alrighty. So, that was enjoyable, huh? It wasn't as nice as the filling station. It was similarly priced. I think it was marginally cheap, but you got a bit less bacon. The bacon wasn't as nice, the roll wasn't as nice. Coffee was comparable. So maybe get something else next time. Devil's Bridge is still better. Panniers comes with them, which is excellent, because when you look at the price of panniers now, Jesus Christ, how can they justify it? They're like 1,500 quid just for the boxes. So I'm happy I've got them. They're not big enough, to be fair. They really need to be slightly wider, because they're quite a bit narrower than the bars. So, you know, it used to be as long as your panniers weren't wider than the bars, you were alright. So I could have made them a bit bigger. They don't leak, which is good, and they have been well and truly tested in the rain. They also, when you take them off the bike, they don't stand up on their own. So the Triumph ones, I'm speeding here, slow down. The Triumph ones, they were quite a bit wider. They were like that odd shape one as well, so there were, one side was got a big chop out for the exhaust. But the wider one, the normal shape one, if you took that off the bike and sat it down, it would stay where you put it. These ones, because they're narrow and slightly tall, they just want to flop over. So I think day 2 of owning them, put it down, a damn thing rolled on the side, and it literally done a full 360 roll, scratching it, which I wasn't very impressed about. So that's a bit of a poo bag. They're simple to operate, which is good. The only thing that is a bit crap about them is the little, like a restraining thing, because they hinge at the bottom. That tends to want to fold out in between the rubber ceiling and stick out. So you've got to make sure you tuck that back in carefully. What's it like to clean? One of the things I used to look at for a bike, look quite a few miles, was is it cleanable? And the Triumph Tiger Explorer was an absolute shitter. There were so many nooks and crannies, bits that you could get into without, like thin sticks with cloths around them to poke in, and yeah, it was just a nightmare to clean. And weirdly, when I bought it, it didn't actually enter my head, even though all the other previous bikes I've looked at, I would go around thinking, that exhaust's gonna get caked in shit. Why didn't we just put a little bit around the fairing there? Made a big pheasant. So this one, it's not bad. It's like gravel. Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's matte grey, so I don't know. When the colours came out, I was so disappointed because they were so bland. But I'm glad I got this one. It's an absolute treat doing this. I always go to Scotland, but you've got that middle drudgery of getting past Glasgow. Right, so if I slow down gently, watch what happens. See that? Stays in third. If I was to slow down harder, it would have definitely dropped us into second. And then in S2, second gear tends to not change to third until you get to 30. Sometimes you kind of hang on to second a bit too long. You could still use the paddles, that works a treat, but just to kind of speed and still stop it. This is sometimes this sort of thing where it can lurch and lunge when you're sort of on the throttle but not really powering it, just giving it a little bit of gas. So this seems quite nice. You can feel it though, you can definitely feel sort of purging, pulsing, where it's on the power, off the power. So if you accelerate nice and gentle in Sport 2, starting to they're up into 5th already. 55ish, it will go into 6 if I'm not really accelerating. Whereas if I'd have gunned it, it'd have probably held third up to 60 and then waited to see what you were doing next. And that's in exactly the same riding mode, so there's definitely a lot of thought going on behind the scenes by the computer. I mean, you look at it, I just don't like hairpins at all. Avoid them stones. A lot of stuff being washed across the road, a lot of wet stuff, a lot of stones and gravel. I like the way on here though, there's very few signs, you just kind of come to a bend and it just goes round and round and round and round and round. Like this there, see where the road's going. You can see where the tyre marks are. I mean, for me this bike compared to the Tiger, even though it's, as I keep saying, it's 35 horsepower more, quite a bit more torque, just doing them hairpins on it is so much easier. Shite on the road. I think the whole bike is just designed for ease. Say that about Hondas, I don't know, it's your soul just does things in an efficient manner. Kill the water and forest. Actually, should we go to kill the water? Kill the forest. Because I've been there since I was at school. It's like change of plan.